Crevonte, baby. We're continuing these draft profiles, and we actually head back to the University of Washington to take a look at another player, our first offensive lineman, and we head to the great Northwest, Troy Fautanu. What do you think about the young man when you hear him? And we look at the offensive lineman in this class, a lot of guys that can be considered as first rounders.
Absolutely. I've been saying it throughout the draft profiles that lineman is a strength of this draft. Like when we go down, when we a couple years from now, we're gonna go back, and this will be one of the best draft classes when it comes to offensive talent as in general and as a whole, but in particular, offensive linemen. So yeah, this is another good versatile brother. Do you have any of his well, it's not probably not much measurables, at least at the combine, but do you have
Yes, I got you. Yes, from Henderson, Nevada, senior, 6'4", 317, 34.5 inch arms, 9.5 inch hands. He is a 5.01 40, 1.71 10-yard split, 32.5 vertical, 9.5 broad jump as well. 2019 redshirted, 2020 played in 4 games as a reserve. 2021 played in 9 games, 3 starts with 2 at left tackle, 1 at left guard. So you see the versatility. 2022 second team All Pac-12, started all 13 games, 12 at left tackle, 1 at left guard. And 2023 third team All American, first team All Pac-12. He was part of the Joe Moore award-winning offensive line we talked about at Washington as a block for Michael Penix Jr., and he was the Offensive Power
yeah?
Player of the Year, Polynesian College Football Player of the Year finalist, 15 games at left tackle. Crevonte.
Man, excellent athlete. These are let me say, like, excellent athlete, extremely quick. These are things that back in the day we never used this type of terminology to describe offensive linemen, and he embodies both of them, along with versatility, quick feet, natural knee bend, nimble, fluid mover, great hand placement, and good at sustaining blocks. He gets his hands on you. It's a good chance that he will continue to keep his hands on you. Very, very, very experienced, exceptional agility, very good arm length. Arm length is something else that that linemen, especially tackles, have to have. But good arm length is good advantage to have when it comes to going up against these elite level edge rushers. And again, being athletic and versatile is huge. He played tackle. Um, he was probably the best lineman on the best offensive line in football. So he has a lot of experience. Great at pass blocking, which he's probably going to be doing a lot at the next level. And and yeah, and his guy was Michael Penix Jr. An amazing fit. I think he'll be good anywhere, but I think he will thrive in a zone blocking system.
You talked about he played, like I said, he played 12 at left tackle in 2022, played 15 games at left tackle in 2023. But like you said, he could project inside the guard. I mean, if you play tackle, you can play guard. I feel like he has some athleticism. It seems like he's not very, he doesn't have a piano on his back. Versatility. Do you see him playing guard at the next level? And where do you see his comparison? I know we were kind of trying to figure out who he compares to and maybe where does he fall? I think he's a first rounder, though.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's interior O line one. I think he's the guy. Now, how do you what value do you put on that? It's typically not as high. It's not a tackle. You know what I'm saying? It's not wide receiver one, or it's not a quarterback or anything like that. So he's probably not going to go in the top part of the first round. He's a late one, early two at worst. But I do think, because going to a little bit of his weaknesses, um, he's short. He's a little on the shorter side. Um, Not great at anchoring. So those are things you absolutely need at left tackle at the next level. He was able to get away with it because he's just so good and so versatile on the college level. But at the next level, I could see him playing either left or right guard. I just think that would suit him better at the next level.
You mentioned the second half of the back of the first round. Any teams that jump out to you? I mean, a lot of teams could use offensive linemen in the 20 to 32 range. And pro comp, who do you see him possibly comparing to? A guy we liked coming out a few years ago.
So as far as pro comp, let's go back real quick. Pro comp, Rashawn Slater. Um, because some of the knocks was with Rashawn Slater was like the lack of the length at tackle. And would he be able to stay at that position? Now, Rashawn Slater, he's the guy. He's the reason. He's part of the reason why it's a favorable spot for a young offensive play caller to go to. But let's see, where could he fall? Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. Just pick the top of the second round. So I hope somehow he falls to the second round, which he probably won't because, like I said, he's interior O line number one. And literally, just like you said, from 22 to the Eagles all the way through, any and everybody can use them. Um, we have Arizona. We have Arizona at the 27. Um, Detroit already has a top-notch offensive line, so they might not need them as much as everybody else does. Um, 49ers, Ravens, why not? Chiefs, heaven forbid, and Dallas. Dallas probably would address some other problems, but anybody we could all use. And again, got the Vikings here again at 23, just solidify more of the offensive line because they're probably going to use. Oh no, well I'm gonna say this. I think the Vikings probably are not going to be picking at 23 because they're probably going to use that pick to move up. So I'm gonna say the Vikings are not going to be here at 23. But yeah, anybody from Eagles, Green Bay, the Bills would be a good spot. I think the Bills would be a good spot for Troy. But anybody from 2022 on down could use the offensive lineman.
Especially a guy versatile like Mr. Fautanu. Any final thoughts on Troy? Any final thoughts on Troy Crevonte?
Oh wow,
My
I was
bad.
just looking a little bit higher. Um,
Hmm.
I don't, I'm not sure. Just because you have Joe Burrow, the Bengals have to be should be in play at that for Troy, but he's going to be intriguing for a lot of folks. It's going to be hard to pass this versatile brother to pass him up. So he's going to be an elite level off interior offensive lineman. He compete. I think he'll probably be an all pro before we know it.
Well, we will continue our draft profiles as we take a look at the offensive linemen. And we're all pros on our own right here on the Flex On Podcast. Crevonte, only place give me those draft profiles. How you want it?
When you need it.
We'll be back with more.